guys, this is AwesomeJohn22 coming in today with another review. Today we are taking a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Dinobot Snarl, a green Stegosaurus. Green being my favorite color, Stegosaurus being one of my favorite dinosaurs. You might expect me to really like this figure. That's not exactly the case. Surprising, I know, but this isn't the time to talk about that. Let's get into the review proper by getting this guy transformed up through the magic of jump cuts. And here we have Snarl in his dinosaur mode. Very, very cool dinosaur mode. I love the green. I even love the translucent green. I think it all looks really great. He's got decent proportions. His head has some really good posability to it. Nothing in the tail, but we've got some stuff in his legs. Quite a bit in his legs, actually. And, I mean, he looks really good. Zooming in, we can see some fantastic detail on his back spines. We can see he's got his little Stegosaurus spikes there. He's got a couple problems, things that... Oh, and there's an Autobot symbol. Very nice. I hadn't noticed that before. There's a couple things that are very annoying, though. He has his robot hands very clearly attached to the back of his rear feet. And like the other Dinobots, he is quite spiky compared to a real dinosaur, though I don't really mind that. Finally, I really love this. He can open his mouth, like most of the Dinobots can, actually. And I believe after this guy, there's only 2 more Dinobots that I need, and I'm not sure what their names are. I can't quite remember, but it's the Brachiosaurus guy, Sludge maybe, and the Velociraptor. But either way, I really like this guy's Stegosaurus mode. For a Deluxe, it's quite a nice size, as you can see next to a Voyager class there. And there is one piece that I didn't include here. It's a spine plate that is supposed to attach back here in a little gap. But no matter what I do, it always just stays really floppy. So I usually just leave it off to the side. I mean, it looks cool there. Don't get me wrong. It just, unless I'm doing something wrong, I don't think it actually fits. Snarl's transformation is fairly simple. First, we're going to take this plate, we're going to fold it out, and that's going to make the blade of his weapon, which we will see in a moment, because the next step, we are going to come back here and split his tail, and as you can see, this bit is a separate piece, which just kind of pegs in there, these pegs here. You can see we have a peg hole here with this kind of groove in it. Bringing it up close. What we're going to do is we're just going to slide this up till the blade rests in that groove, keeping it from rotating. And now we have his axe made of the 2 parts of the Stegosaurus that really make it dangerous, which is quite cool. Next, we're going to take these tail halves, and you can see there are some pegs right here, and we're just going to slot it in like so, which will allow us to bring these up, then fold them down at these additional joints, and you can kind of see where this is going already, so might as well just get it over with and straighten these out. And they do, in fact, become his arms, and we're kind of looking at them from the back. Next, we're going to take this section and rotate it back, and then just kind of fan it out just a little bit. It doesn't have a whole lot of clearance, so we are just going to kind of go about that far. That'll allow us to bring up his head, which does click into place. And you can pretty much see how this guy is going to go from here. We're just going to bring up his beast legs, bring this whole section forward and down, split it, and you can see what's very cool is he doesn't have his heads on his shoulder here, but he does have this like false head half that goes there that prevents you from having to split this head in half with how small it is, which is quite nice. Next, we're going to bring his feet down. He has these big knight-esque feet. And then come into the back here, and you can see these panels are separated. We're just going to fold this up and peg it in place, and it's quite tight, so it takes a second. And get him standing, and bring the camera back a little bit and bring it up. And there we have Snarl in his robot mode. And he looks very dynamic. He has this added metallic purple on his abdomen and his chest, which looks absolutely great. And he has a fantastic head sculpt that looks like a knight's helmet, just like all the rest of the Dinobots. He can, of course, hold his weapon. And take it and just, of course, pop it into his hand, if I don't drop it first. And it's very tight fit, but once it's in there, it's not going to come out unless you want it to. Yeah, he looks absolutely great. His appearance isn't the problem. It's the other things that make me dislike this figure more than I probably should. Now, don't get me wrong, Snarl is far from a bad figure, but these panels here that we kind of butterflied out earlier get in the way of his arms, which have limited movement anyway because of these giant tail pieces hanging off of them. He has these silly Gorilla Crunch arms, which shouldn't exist on Transformers nowadays anymore. And even worse, rotating his arms this way, which loses you the detail, and then trying to rotate his hand like so, his hand no longer points down. It points forward at this right angle. So really, and I turned that the wrong way, the only pose you can get out of his arms is straight down, or straight out forward. It's silly, and trying to put his arm too far forward will get it caught on those back panels. His hips, which have a full range of motion, though not quite. They don't move out too far, but forward and back at least, they have a full range of motion. Are a little loose, and his feet are very, very loose. So you're not going to be able to get very many leg poses out of him either. And so he ends up with one good pose, and that's the static, straight up and down pose. He, of course, is a standard deluxe size. He looks quite nice next to other figures from the wave, though really the Dinobots should be a lot bigger than that. And I'd like to say I hope a third party makes larger Dinobots from the movie at some point, but I don't really want to buy all these guys again, so I'm just going to stay happy with what I've got. You can see him there next to Optimus Prime. He looks good. Standard size. It's the articulation. It just... Usually I can do with only haphazard articulation, but this is just unacceptable. So, honestly, guys, if I had to do it again, I might not actually buy this guy in the store if I had to make the choice again. The fact that he's a Dinobot might win him over for me, because I do want to collect all the Dinobots, but I don't know. I'm going to have to call this one kind of a pass, but use your gut and decide what you actually want to do. Don't just pass because I said so. Really give it some thought and take a look at him. But I don't actually recommend the figure unless you're a completist or you are trying to complete the Dinobots. And it really, really pains me to say that because, as I mentioned before, I really do want to like this guy. Another short video. As I said, I'm trying to get these things shortened down, short and sweet. I figure the shorter the videos, the more videos I can get out to you guys quicker, and then I can spend some time working on my other channel and as well as some of my other projects. I'm hoping one of them will take off relatively soon. And you guys could really help me out. That's really it for this review. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you feel so inclined. In the description down below, you will find links to all of those other things that I'm working on. Please check them out. Please, really, I think you guys would like it. And if you do, you know, do all the same stuff over there. Like, subscribe, and share, even. I wouldn't mind if you shared some of these videos, too. This is something that I'd really like to do, even if it just ends up supplementing my lifestyle, because I really enjoy doing it, and I think that I think that I could get better if I had the resources to grow. And that's where you guys can help me out. Either way, this has been Awesome John 22, and I will talk to you guys later.